got some Law and Order fans
So
here,
does it
huh?
bother you that he has a huge calendar in his dressing room that counts down days till you're coming on the show?
I think if I don't offer him a guest star role, I'm going to be kicked off the set.
Well, that's not true. Well, yes, it is, actually. No.
Well, I've got all these ladies out here who I think are on my side, but
Yeah, they are. This is the ladies' show going on
it's
here.
very nice to see them all so beautiful.
Anyway, you don't get to dress so lovely and so casual in court, do you?
Oh, God, no, it's so nice to actually, like, show up and be a fan of another woman and, like, just be in jeans and not have to kind of be on, you know? It's fun.
There's a wonderful story I saw about how you got this role in Law and Order.
Not that story.
I was going to say,
Yes.
that's a little personal for just us.
Anyway, Jack, continue.
Dick Wolf, who was the creator and the producer you apparently worked with before, and
Right,
they
right.
were looking to cast this role.
Yeah, I mean, I had heard that they were casting this role, and I grew up here, so I really wanted to come back to New York. I'd been in L.A. for 3 years, and I was very homesick. And so I called and I said, you know, would you be interested in me auditioning? And he said, no. I don't think so. I'm not really looking for a blonde, and I'm not really looking for anything you have to offer. And I said, well, great, nice talking to you. And then I got a call, like, the next day saying that I had a screen test, and I wasn't really taking it with that big a grain of salt because, like he'd said, you know, he wasn't interested in anything I had to offer.
Wow.
And, no, making a joke, but it was just, you know, he'd had, you know, all these beautiful women, and he just felt like maybe a guy would be a great choice. He was just playing with different ideas. So I went in, and, I mean, how much do you want to know? I got the job in like 20 minutes, so I guess it all worked out.
I guess so.
Perfectly
So
well.
after thinking, no, you were too blonde, not it, you did the read, and 20 minutes later they gave you the job.
Yeah, I think they just really wanted a very strong woman, and, you know, previous characters I've played have been softer and just, I don't know, maybe they didn't expect that I could really kick people's butts.
Is it fun for you? Is it fun for you to put, because it's a very strong character. I mean, you are knocking heads with all sorts of people.
For me, it's great, but, you know, we were talking about in the green room about how, you know, at a certain point you have to laugh at yourself because, you know, Sam McCoy's like, you know, about to burst blood vessels and I'm, you know, going to yell at some guy for the 15th time, and we have to laugh at ourselves at a certain point. But I find it incredibly rewarding every day to just know more and be a part of the world more.
Right.
And I don't think a lot of acting parts allow you that.
Now, when you, because you play who you play on the show, do you ever find that people confuse you with that character? Have you ever, like, gotten pulled over by the police and been like, you know, I'm with the DA, or...
Yeah, and I always hope to take advantage of it, but it doesn't actually work that way in New York City. I was actually driving downtown around Ground Zero to go to work because we shoot down by the courthouses. And I did a U-turn, you know, but I'm on my way to Law and Order, so I'm thinking, you know, they're going to understand my plight. I mean, this is important. It's Law and Order. Ground Zero, what? And this guy pulls me over and he says, what do you think you're doing? And I said, you know, I'm confused. Where's Church Street, Reed Street? And he said, give me your license and registration. He goes, I know you from Law and Order. You should know better than this. Ah! And I said, I was like, so the flirting's not going to work, huh? No, it's not going to work.
It doesn't help to be a blonde, tough lawyer in this town.
Not at all.
Now, what about, you were on a soap for a while,
Yes.
One Life to Live, and you were fired. Oh, my gosh. Well, you were, but I mean, look where you ended up, so we can talk about getting fired.
Put it this way.
I didn't do anything bad.
Of course you did.
left the
Oh,
show.
jeez.
That's what people say.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Lawyer.
You know, it was,
I'm trying to be nice to you.
I know, I get it. I
it's
get
okay,
it.
no, I'm wide awake for
I'm about
this.
to go backstage and make a sandwich.
No, it's okay, because I like your shoes.
Thank
so
you.
We're on good,
Yes.
we're on good standing. No,
Thank you for lending me these shoes.
very well. And we don't like your shoes. No, it was basically, you know, the Buchanans kind of run the universe, and they had this idea that they would bring on a new family, and then it just didn't really take off. You know, there was this alcoholic journalist, Mel, and his daughter, who was suffering through his experiences, and
These are characters on the soap. She's not talking about our show, right?
I was talking about my life. And they decided to can this family, and it was devastating because I was like right out of college. This was so important to me. And Erica Slezak, pulled me in her dressing room, and you never really talked to Erica because she was so busy and she had such a rich life and, had a family, and she's just an amazing woman. And she and her husband were always really polite, but she pulled me in her dressing room and said, I just really need to talk to you. And I thought, I wanted to explain to her I hadn't done anything wrong or offended anybody. And she said, you're going to be a really big star. And I said, I don't understand what you're talking about. I just got fired from your show. And she said, everybody that gets fired from here becomes a very big actor. And she said, I know it's really hard for you. And it was very hard for me.
But she
That's
ended up,
very
she
sweet.
ended up being true,
Sweet,
and
yeah.
it ended up being true. So,
And it ended up
That's very
which is
sweet.
the nice part of that
So
story.
we're going to come back with you because you and Jack are going to do a scene that we've written from Law & Order. You cannot miss this. We'll be right back.
Coming up next, Jack's a lawyer, but can he play one on TV? Find out when we return. And later on, get your pencils ready to take on Love Quiz.
Does Jack Ford have what it takes to be a primetime star in his favorite show, Law & Order? We'll find out in this little scene we've written in honor of the hit show. Jack will be playing defense attorney. Elizabeth is playing prosecutor. And I'm that person. Oh!
Isn't it true that the reason you knew she was there that night is that you've been stalking her for weeks?
Objection, Your Honor. This is nonsense. The prosecutor knows there's no evidence at all of stalking. She's just grandstanding to this jury here.
That is ridiculous, and Mr. Ford should know better. The jury can decide if there's enough evidence to convict.
I'll tell you what I know. I know that the prosecutor is so desperate that she's just making up facts to try and convince this jury that my client is guilty.
But nobody who's innocent would look like that.
You're right. I don't know what I was thinking. You know what, guys? Just guys, take her away. Just get her out of here. What about you? What about you is you're going to jail, and Elizabeth and I are going to lunch. I want to thank the lovely Elisabeth Röhm for being a good sport and playing with us. Again, Law & Order, Wednesdays at 10 p.m. on NBC. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to be asking what's the strangest thing that you've